Each one reach one. And when you reach one, teach one. That's that mind elevation.
You don't know everything, and you're not that great to think that you do know everything. And you can get bit in the ass by thinking that. But you got to get bit to go, oh, let me get better at that.
Yes.
So my go get comes from me just saying, what's my reason not to go after everything that I possibly can? I will stand on a fucking building and say this, man. It's a game. This thing is serious, but it's got a game-like quality to it. This thing called life. It's got a game-like quality to it. And if you don't fucking see that, you better open your eyes. You better open your fucking eyes, because in this life, the moves that we're making allow you to do more, to get more, to see more, travel more, explore, experience. Or some people are dealt a different hand and it's tougher. It's a darker road, and it's, damn it, it's fuck. I want to get out of this. I can't. I'm doing, how do I get out? Fuck, I made it. Oh, it looked like I wasn't supposed to get out, but I'm out. Everybody say you can't get out of this shit. I did. I'm out. I'm one of the people that got out. It's a fucking, it's got a real game-like quality to it. And that doesn't mean that you play with it. Understand what I'm saying here. It means that you can do what you put your mind to. And if you continue to put your mind to it, the game opens up new levels. Tell me I'm fucking saying something wrong.
You're saying something right.
You get a new level, and each new level that gets opened up, you're able to adapt a different mindset and a different approach. You can stop at that level, or you can go, I want more levels. I want more fucking levels.
Well, a habit is a redundant set of automatic, unconscious thoughts, behaviors, and emotions that's acquired through repetition. A habit is when you've done something so many times that your body now knows how to do it better than your mind. So if you think about it, people wake up in the morning, they begin to think about their problems. Those problems are circuits of memories in the brain. Each one of those memories are connected to people and things at certain times and places. And if the brain is a record of the past, the moment they start their day, they're already thinking in the past. Each one of those memories has an emotion. Emotions are the end product of past experiences. So the moment they recall those memories of their problems, they all of a sudden feel unhappy, they feel sad, they feel pain. Now, how you think and how you feel creates your state of being. So the person's entire state of being when they start their day is in the past. So what does that mean? The familiar past will sooner or later be predictable future. So if you believe that your thoughts have something to do with your destiny, and you can't think greater than how you feel, or feelings have become the means of thinking, by very definition of emotions, you're thinking in the past. And for the most part, you're going to keep creating the same life. So then people grab their cell phone, they check their WhatsApp, they check their text, they check their emails, they check Facebook, they take a picture of their feet, they post it on Facebook, they tweet something, they do Instagram, they check the news, and now they feel really connected to everything that's known in their life. And then they go through a series of routine behaviors. They get out of bed on the same side, they go to the toilet, they get a cup of coffee, they take a shower, they get dressed, they drive to work the same way, they do the same things, they see the same people, they push the same emotional buttons, and that becomes the routine, and it becomes like a program. So now they've lost their free will to a program, and there's no unseen hand doing it to them. So when it comes time to change, the redundancy of that cycle becomes a subconscious program. So now 95% of who we are by the time we're 35 years old is a memorized set of behaviors, emotional reactions, unconscious habits, hardwired attitudes, beliefs, and perceptions that function like a computer program. So then a person can say with their 5% of their conscious mind, I want to be healthy, I want to be happy, I want to be free. But the body's on a whole different program. So then how do you begin to make those changes? Well, you have to get beyond the analytical mind, because what separates the conscious mind from the subconscious mind is the analytical mind. And that's where meditation comes in, because you can teach people through practice how to change their brainwaves, slow them down. And when they do that properly, they do enter the operating system where they can begin to make some really important changes. Most people then wait for crisis or trauma or disease or diagnosis. They wait for loss, some tragedy to make up their mind to change. And my message is, why wait? And you can learn and change in a state of pain and suffering, or you can learn and change in a state of joy and inspiration. And I think right now, the cool thing is that people are waking up. The stronger the emotional reaction you have to some experience in your life, the higher the emotional quotient, the more you pay attention to the cause. And the moment the brain puts all of its attention on the cause, it takes a snapshot, and that's called a memory. So long-term memories are created from very highly emotional experiences. So what happens then is that people think neurologically within the circuitry of that experience, and they feel chemically within the boundaries of those emotions. And so when you have an emotional reaction to someone or something, most people think that they can't control their emotional reaction. Well, it turns out if you allow that emotional reaction, it's called a refractory period, to last for hours or days, that's called a mood. You say to someone, hey, what's up? You say, I'm in a mood. Well, why are you in a mood? Well, I had this thing happen to me 5 days ago, and I'm having one long emotional reaction. If you keep that same emotional reaction going on for weeks or months, that's called temperament. Why is he so bitter? I don't know, let's ask him. Why is he so bitter? Why are you bitter? Well, I had this thing happen to me 9 months ago. And if you keep that same emotional reaction going on for years on end, that's called a personality trait. And so learning how to shorten your refractory period of emotional reactions is really where the work starts. So then people, when they have an event, what they do is they keep recalling the event, because the emotions of stress hormones, the survival emotions, are saying pay attention to what happened, because you want to be prepared if it happens again. Turns out most people spend 70% of their life living in survival and living in stress. So they're always anticipating the worst case scenario based on a past experience. And they're literally, out of the infinite potentials in the quantum field, they're selecting the worst possible outcome, and they're beginning to emotionally embrace it with fear. And they're conditioning their body into a state of fear. Do that enough times, body has a panic attack without you. You can't even predict it because it's programmed subconsciously.
In this life, don't overthink, don't overanalyze. You should wake up and literally pray hard, close your legs, open those books, go in the basement, focus on your craft, mold and shape and develop who you are. Self-love is the cure to self-hate. If you don't love yourself, you're showing up into a relationship empty, like a charity case, hoping and desiring that someone saves you and fulfills you with the love that doesn't exist. If you're in college or in high school or junior high school and you're looking at this video, clubbing, partying, hanging out, popping, it's not going anywhere. When I tell you it's not going anywhere, it's not going anywhere. So don't allow anyone to make you feel bad about being weird, distant, not responding to text messages and invites and all of the fun and hyper shit going on out here in this world. Stay focused. Grind. The world does not become a better place on its own. It takes people like you that are smart, with visions and ideas, and that are willing to mold and shape and develop your inventions, technology, gadgets, ideas, so that you can make our world better. Imagine if Steve Jobs had kept all of his ideas in his head, and he never did whatever it took to get these ideas and visions out. Imagine if the founders of Google had kept their visions and ideas in their head. Our world is a better place because of the things that they have contributed to our world technology-wise. You have visions and you have ideas, but you have consumed yourself with people that are distractions. People that ain't about shit, so they trying to talk you out of all of your shit. You have nothing going on. That's why you're trying to make me feel bad about all the things I got going on. You have no dreams. That's why you're trying to kill my dreams. You have no goals. That's why every time I mention my goals, you make me feel stupid about them. You try and talk me out of them. You try and make me feel and seem and come off as a person that shouldn't be doing the things that I'm looking to do. In this life, I've learned that when you have goals, gifts, and talents and visions around what you want to do with your life, it's always the people that are closest to you that are the first to try and talk you out of it. How many inventions, genius, life-changing, forward-thinking albums, projects, visions, art. Some of y'all haven't picked up the paintbrush in so many years because you've allowed all of these regular folks that don't have the images and the arts and the creativity in their mind to even get it out. Why haven't you went and bought yourself a canvas with oils and paints and all of the things that you're supposed to do to paint your picture? This world is an empty canvas waiting on new thoughts to think. I'll say it again. This world is like an empty canvas, like an empty wall. And the whole world is sitting there looking at this empty wall, waiting on you to paint your creative picture so that we can have new thoughts to think, new songs to hear, new lyrics to consider that can help us to get through everything. You're a genius. God is not done with you yet. That's why you're still here. At this point, it's not about fame and popularity for me. I believe that I'm still on this earth because I have so many forward-thinking visions and ideas and concepts. And I am literally still on this earth because I'm supposed to unleash all of these visions on the world. I'm in my backyard, and this is my vision. Matrix Decoded Studio. We all live in the Matrix. We all have friends, camps, entourages, and people that are in our world, in our Matrix. And as creative people, you can look at all of the successful people in the world. You can look at all the movies, all of the albums, all of the music, and everything that has to do with creativity. And your everyday focus should be to decode the world. Look at the matrix numbers that are coming out of the sky, and look up and add all of the numbers up. And you're able to decode this world. You're looking for that creative loophole that you can introduce an idea, a vision, or a concept to the world, and then they rock out. I am hoping that you learn to dream and have goals beyond the money that's in your bank account. Because at a certain point, your visions and goals will be met by financing. And then you'll be able to unleash those very visions and goals on the world. I can't afford all of my visions and ideas. But I don't stop. I don't stop. I am not afraid of what I can't afford. For all of the things that I can't afford, as soon as I think it, I do it. I make it happen. I lock in. This is not a game. This is what I do.
it's the story. You're just putting that story together. And I don't think, you know, without the stories, what do you talk about? What do you talk about?
Right.
You know, what is the interesting side of conversation about your growth or your journey? If it's just the easiest, I just took the highway and got off at the exit, and right there at the exit I found the gold. Everybody else did. It's no
Right.
What
or
is
my
that?
dad was rich and I have a trust fund and I never have to work ever.
What is the interesting side to that? Like, there is no bonus in that. Like, I just fucking broke my goddamn back, right? The dopest thing for me about doing that was not being able to walk, but then being told that if I'm patient, I can recover fully. I can get back to myself, and me instantly thinking in my head, I can actually be better than what I was. If he's telling me I can get back to 100%, I'm gonna be better. So the game instantly clicked on. All right, tomorrow we play. The doctors are just telling me the stuff that I need to know. Stay within those lines. I'm gonna find out the things that I can do because I'm playing the game now. I'm never gonna overexert myself, but the game is to be better. How do I be better than what I was? Because if I do that, ooh, fuck. For me, I just beat me.
Yeah.
This ain't about nobody else. I don't give a fuck about nobody else. I just beat me. If I can keep beating myself, pause. If I can keep doing that, then that means that I'm in a battle with the only person that fucking makes sense. I'm in a battle with the only person that I really want to fucking beat, and that's me. I don't care about anybody else. I have no worry or gripe about the next man or woman's journey or their level of success. That's not what I'm up against.
Yeah.
If I can continue to outdo me from the day before, then I'm ahead. And I'm ahead. And that's the newfound energy that I got out of life now. You know, I'm on this amazing Rocky story with myself. It's in my head. Nobody else is watching this movie but me. It's in my head. This is Rocky. This is the comeback. This is exactly what I saw in the movie. And I'm going to come back better than ever. I'm going to be 41. My body's going to be ripped up. I'm going to be about 8% body fat. And then I'm ready. Ready for what, Kevin? I don't fucking know.
Ready to be better than you were before.
Hey, I don't know, but that's what I want. You got to just keep being a sponge and being willing to fucking grow. It's just understand who you are. Truly understand who you are. Learn yourself.
Yeah.
Learn yourself. Learn your pros and your cons. Get your flaws. Get them out the way, but with you, not to nobody else. This is a you and you thing. Of the shit that you know you need to work on. And I'm telling you, people, when you really look yourself in the mirror and you start to pick yourself apart by yourself.
Yeah.
There's only room for improvement. It's easy to ignore your bullshit.
Also, other people can't tell you things you don't already know.
Fuck. You're 1,000% right.
Yeah.
You're
So then you say to the person, why are you this way? And they'll say, I am this way because of this event that happened to me 15 or 20 years ago. And what that means from a biological standpoint is that they haven't been able to change since that event. So then the emotions from the experience tend to give the body and the brain a rush of energy. So people become addicted to the rush of those emotions, and they use the problems and conditions in their life to reaffirm their limitation, so at least they can feel something. So now when it comes time to change, you say to the person, why are you this way? Well, every time they recall the event, they're producing the same chemistry in their brain and body as if the event is occurring, firing and wiring the same circuits and sending the same emotional signature to the body. Well, what's the relevance behind that? Well, Your body is the unconscious mind. It doesn't know the difference between the experience that's creating the emotion and the emotion that you're creating by thought alone. So the body's believing. It's living in the same past experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And so then when those emotions influence certain thoughts, and they do, and then those thoughts create the same emotions, and those same emotions influence the same thoughts, now the entire person's state of being is in the past. So then the hardest part about change is not making the same choices you did the day before, period. And the moment you decide to make a different choice, get ready, because it's going to feel uncomfortable. I think that the bigger thing is that we keep firing and wiring those circuits. They become more hardwired. So you have a thought and then the program runs. But it's the emotion that follows the thought. If you have a fearful thought, you're going to feel anxiety. The moment you feel anxiety, your brain's checking in with your body and saying, yeah, you're pretty anxious. So then you start thinking more corresponding thoughts equal to how you feel. Well, the redundancy of that cycle conditions the body to become the mind. So now, when it comes time to change, a person steps into that river of change and they make a different choice, and all of a sudden, they don't feel the same way. So the body says, well, you've been doing this for 35 years. You're going to just stop suffering and stop feeling guilty and stop feeling shameful, and you're not going to complain or blame or make excuses or feel sorry for yourself. Well, the body's in the unknown. So the body says, I want to return back to familiar territory. So the body starts influencing the mind, and it says, start tomorrow. You're too much like your mother. You'll never change. This isn't going to work for you. This doesn't feel right. And so if you respond to that thought as if it's true, that same thought will lead to the same choice, which will lead to the same behavior, which will create the same experience, which will produce the same emotion. By closing your eyes and mentally rehearsing some action, if you're truly present, the brain does not know the difference between what you're imaging and what you're experiencing in 3D world. So then you begin to install the neurological hardware in your brain to look like the event has already occurred. Now, your brain is no longer a record of the past. Now it's a map to the future. And if you keep doing it, priming it that way, the hardware becomes a software program, and who knows, you just may start acting like a happy person. Your body is your unconscious mind. In a sense, if you're sitting down and you start thinking about some future worst-case scenario that you're conjuring up in your mind, and you begin to feel the emotion of that event, your body doesn't know the difference between the event that's taking place in your world, outer world, and what you're creating by emotion or thought alone. So most people then, they're constantly reaffirming their emotional states. So when it comes time to give up that emotion, they can say, I really want to do it, but really the body is stronger than the mind because it's been conditioned that way. So the servant now has become the master. And the person, all of a sudden, once they step into that unknown, they'd rather feel guilt and suffering because at least they can predict it. Being in the unknown is a scary place for most people because the unknown is uncertain. And people say to me, well, I can't predict my future. I'm in the unknown, and I always say the best way to predict your future is to create it. And then I think the hardest part is to teach our body emotionally what the future will feel like ahead of the actual experience. So what does that mean? You can't wait for your success to feel empowered. You can't wait for your wealth to feel abundant. You can't wait for your new relationship to feel love, or your healing to feel whole. I mean, that's the old model of reality, of cause and effect, waiting for something outside of us to change how we feel inside of us. And when we feel better inside of us, we pay attention to whoever or whatever caused it.
We're all writing a book. What's your book look like? What does your fucking book look like? Like your life is a book. You got a bunch of chapters in your book, but when they close that book, how good was the book? How good was your book? What was the ending to your book? If the ending to my book can be so amazing because of all that was done, not the money, all that was accomplished, The first to do, the man that did this, he caused the merger between this. Because of his commitment and growth to this, the communities were then given this, made education this, changed the way the schooling was blah, 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 gave books, gave computers, gave all of the things that can be associated with you and your existence become a part of the chapters in your book. So my drive is about my book. I was a New York Times #1 bestseller. People would be done. They did it. I'm writing another book.
You writing a book right now?
Yeah. What happens if you are a 2-time New York Times #1 bestseller? If you get to 2, what happens if you get to 3? Hey, man, how do books become successful? Who publishes them? I want to start a publishing company, Heartbeat Publishing. Why not? That's the thing. All I'm doing is sparking the awareness in others to go, why not? Why can't I create? Why can't I start? Why can't I be a business? Why can't I be a CEO? Why can't I be a tech guru? Why can't I fucking create cooking products, lotions, scents? There's so much that some people just don't understand they can do. Let me be a spark to show how many different things. You don't have to do just one thing. When it's all said and done, my book is going to be full of all the shit that Kevin Hart did. Because I never was content with doing just 1, 2, or 3. Why not?
Excuses sound best to the people that's making them up. You got every excuse in the world. That's why your shit ain't moving. That's why ain't nothing changed and nothing will change. Because you have convinced yourself that everything is wrong, everything is negative, and nothing will change. And guess what? It won't change. Change your mind, and it will change your life. Change. If nothing around you changes, change the things that are around you. I'm tired of it. I'm frustrated with the amount of people that are not successful because they have thought their way into a depression. You have thought your way into negativity and misery. You have thought your way into holding on to a dude or a girl that you broke up with a year or 2 ago and you're still sad and miserable. They done moved on with their life. It's all in the mind. Change your mind and it will change your life. You just have to wake up. You just have to break that negative spirit. You have to break through all of that shit that you're carrying. I don't feel sorry for you. You feel sorry for yourself. That's the problem. Even when positive people are trying to give you all this good energy, you have tricked your mind to turn every positive thing that they say into something negative. Every time they say anything to try and motivate you and inspire you, you turn every negative thought and you turn every positive thought, every positive intention, everything that they trying to boost your spirits up, you flip it, shake it, manipulate it, and you are so determined to be negative and miserable. It's unbelievable. So what you grew up with them? So what their childhood friends? So what their family? We have a responsibility to walk in the direction of peace. I want to laugh. I want to smile. I want to enjoy myself. I actually want to feel good about the people that are around me. Because you're inviting me doesn't mean I want to show up. Because you're calling me doesn't mean I'm going to call you back. Because you want me to be there doesn't mean that I want to be there. Because we're family, because we're friends, because we grew up together doesn't mean that I want to be a part of any and everything that you want me to be a part of. Why? Because my experience with you hasn't necessarily made me feel good about my life or my experience at the end of every night. Because you go to sleep at night doesn't mean you're resting. Because you close your eyes at night and you are asleep physically doesn't mean that you're actually resting. And the reason that you don't rest is because while you're awake, Everything and everybody that's in and around your life is so full of issues, problems, insecurities, dysfunction, negativity. Your mind is and your spirit is in turmoil. There's issues and problems, arguments, yelling, screaming, dysfunction. I want you to stop playing the victim. You are not the victim. You decided that those are your friends. You decided that those are the people that you want to spend time with. You decided this is what you wanted to do with your day. When you get invited to places, doesn't mean you have to show up. No one wants to be alone. But why spend the rest of your life being miserable, frustrated, and insecure, not really feeling as good as you have a responsibility to feel? Feeling good isn't just an opportunity. Feeling good is a responsibility that we all have for ourselves. And guess what? I actually don't care what you say about me. I don't remember the last time I lost sleep over a hater and the things that people are running around saying, blogs, websites, conversation, tweets, and I don't lose sleep over haters. Why? Because I know exactly how I feel about me. And even if something appears to be very different than what it really is, I don't even mind that you're talking shit about the things that you're assuming that's really going on. The question is, are you just gonna look at this video and decide, wow, that was some powerful, and do the same thing?